Hi there, Lloyd Machedo. Speaking to you from LloydMachedo.com. Who's Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding? All right, I got a couple of updates today. Some are from Saudi, bit from UAE, and the rest is readers have written to me. So, as usual, like I always tell you, if you want the timestamp, just check the description down below. And if you want to fast forward the videos, that means hear it at a faster pace. There is a YouTube option. Just check on if you're looking at the screen on the right-hand side. Don't mind, it's around 4:37 in the morning, so I am a little not so hyper and fresh. Anyway, let's quickly jump into the updates that I received. First is from the people who are in the local market. This is from people that I know. A friend of mine who I've known over the years, he had a printing and digital media business that he had opened around 10 years ago. He has closed it down and citing losses. He sold both the businesses for a loss of 2.8 million dirhams. And he said that, he's pretty upset because he came to UAE with dreams and it's not working out for him. The second one is this gentleman, I knew him from quite a number of years. I mean, right from the time I was a small child. He had grocery shops, he had trading businesses, he had restaurant businesses. He tried to get into export, import. So he has put his hand into quite a number of things. He sold off all his businesses. He sold off all his trade licenses, everything that he had. So 32 years of being in the Middle East, in the UAE, he sold it off. He kind of told me he didn't sell it at a loss or profit, but he did have enough money to retire. So this is not a bad story. This is more or less a good story. But one thing he did tell me is the money-making days in UAE are over. It's no longer the same market that it used to be. So he came literally, I think, in the 80s, early 80s, and he has closed off everything that he had. Then I got this report from a female who is in the airlines business, and she has been telling me that if you have to climb up to the top, you need to sleep around with the bosses, which is very true. She also gave examples, and she tried to brand certain nationalities by saying, Filipinas do that, or, females from, India or Pakistan do that. I just believe that it's across the board. It's not necessary anyone from any particular nationality. It's survival of the fittest. Okay. Then I did get another lady. I don't know. This is an email from a lady. Name is lady, but I don't know whether it's a lady or a guy. But she claims that nowadays on Sheikh Zayed Road, if you look, the traffic is really less. And it's not like before. Many shops and outlets are closing down on Sheikh Zayed Road, citing expensive rents and lower business. So this, I'm not too sure. I requested the person, send me links, send me photographs to prove this. So if you can let me know whether this is true or false, it would really help. Then there's a businessman who keeps moving. Young guy, his father is very rich, so he gets opportunities to travel quite a lot. He just gave me the information that Africa, China, and Russia is increasing its cash reserves through investments. And now they're expanding their business in Africa, China, and Russia, which was not there before. This one surprised me quite a bit. I mean, this is a person who I have known for 10 plus years. A guy who was making good amount of money. I would not say he's a billionaire or a millionaire, but he had really good amount of money. I was pretty surprised on WhatsApp. He asking me for $200. He said, I thought first his account was hacked or something like that. Then I asked him a couple of verification-based questions, and then I realized it's him. And then I was surprised when he said, can you lend me $200? So it's just goes to show that even if you're a businessman, your bad days can come at any point of time. And last but not the least, got two guys, clowns, who were looking for a senior managerial position, who have, I don't know, they are Indians because we have a huge Indian population. So I guess it's predominantly common with Indians. But asking me for a discount, can you give me a discount for everything, anything that I suggest. What is your last price? I mean, it's not like I'm selling fish here, you know. So these were a couple of updates from the market and people who have been sending me messages. Rest, there were all these common messages. I don't want to bore you with that. Okay, in terms of news, you have Saudi report from Bloomberg that says that this is pretty disturbing because it says that Saudi will lose all its oil in 52 years. And this kind of makes sense because if you actually look at it, the new leadership that is there in Saudi, especially MPH, he has been going around trying to sell the vision of 2030. That is, in 2030, Saudi will open up, it'll globalize. There are even talks of Saudi Aramco going public. But then this is a major question because if Saudi Aramco goes public, you are opening up yourself to the public domain where they will inspect, they will check the output. You're responsible because it's public money. You can get sued. You'll have to dance to people who have invested money in you. So I see a lot of problems coming up if Saudi does go public. Now, keeping that aside, what this report states is that the oil field in Saudi, that was Gawar, okay, Gawar, I hope I got that name right. It was supposed to be the world's largest conventional oil field. Now, initially, it seems that they were releasing 5.8 million barrels a day in 2017. But now, after they came out with the report, instead of 5.8 million barrels a day, they are releasing 3.8 million barrels a day. Now, why is this a matter of concern? Because Saudi is not doing as good as it expected. What they are stating is now this oil field, Gawar, has 48.2 million barrels of oil left. That is, it means that it would last 34 years. So if the kingdom has 226 billion barrels of reserve, this would last 52 years. So after the oil all vanishes or declines or no longer is existence, how will this country survive? So that is why they are attracting foreign investments. Now this is disturbing because for the people, the expatriates who used to run to the Middle East to work for jobs because they were oil rich. These Arab locals were supposed to be very powerful, working only big jobs. All these local nationals, especially in UAE, all these locals, you'll never see a local in McDonald's, small position. You'll never see a local cutting fish. You'll never see a local selling newspapers. You'll never see a local cleaner. Why? Because they believe only high-level positions are meant for them. They are only managers, directors, and even if they don't have any education, even if just for putting a stamp, in Jabal Ali, just putting stamp, they get $4,000 or $3,000, and they have lesser number of hours than expatriates. So all this will stop. You'll see, like they say, from camel, they move to Cadillac. They'll move from Cadillac back to the camel. So this would be a matter of concern because then all the Western countries would stop kissing the ass of Arab locals. They would come down to being humble. And I would not be surprised if they become poorer than even the Asian countries. So this is, maybe we'll not see it in our lifetime, but the next generation will see. And we are actually looking at this because the new generation is seeking jobs, they're desperate, and they need to survive. The next one is Saudi's threat. By the way, this also had come on a YouTube video, which I'll put the link down below. You need to watch the video. That is Saudi Arabia reveals oil-related trade secrets to lure investors. Okay, next one is Saudi's threat to United States. So Saudi is threatening to ditch the dollar to stop NOPEC. Okay. So United States, it seems, had introduced a legislation in the year 2000, that is NOPEC, or No Oil Producing and Exporting Cartels Act, which aims to remove the immunity of United States antitrust laws, paving the way that OPEC can be sued if it manipulates prices. But despite numerous attempts, this bill never became a law. The reason being very simple. Saudi has United States by its balls. Okay, that is why even though the September 9/11 attack took place, and we know that the majority are Saudi, nothing happened. Nobody attacked Saudi. They attacked, Iraq. It never made sense. You had nationals who are from Saudi. You didn't attack Saudi. You attacked Iraq. Why? Because Saudi holds United States by the balls. And why is that? Because United States sells its military to Saudi. Okay, and that's a major revenue generator. And most of the military companies, the companies that manufacture military grade or military equipment, are run by politicians. And you also have 1 trillion US dollars that is invested in United States by Saudi, and it holds 160 billion US treasuries. So without a doubt, Saudi holds United States by its balls, and that is why United States dances to Saudi. So when you have these new politicians who are coming up, obviously the only reason they're talking about this is because they want to win seats in the office. Once they become, once they get elected, I doubt they're going to, shake the boat like this, rock the boat, as they say. So Saudi is pretty annoyed, and it's saying that if you fuck around with us, we're really going to fuck around with you, and it's going to affect you. So what they have said is they are threatening to sell its oil in currencies other than the dollar if Washington passes this bill, which exposes OPEC. If they pass a bill that would make OPEC, vulnerable to antitrust laws. So it's pretty unlikely that this would happen. But if it does happen, then Riyadh would ditch the dollar. Now, how does this affect? You have Russia, China, and the European Union, as it is, calling moves to diversify global trade, especially after Donald Trump has made all this noise. And they're saying, why give so much of importance to the dollar? Let's deal with other currencies. Then you have Russia, which is subject to US sanctions, which is selling its oil in euros and Chinese yuan. Then you have Venezuela and Iran, which is also under US sanction, which also has lots of oil, which is selling in other currencies. Then, if these countries, which are really big and have oil, that is Russia, China, and European Union, including Venezuela and Iran, okay, if they are all saying, let's ditch the dollar, the final pillar, the final straw, that is Saudi Arabia, if it says, fuck you, I'm going to sell in other currencies, then that would affect United States. United States dollar would no longer be powerful. United States would no longer be relevant. And it would shake the way the world operates. Because until now, you had United States having this arrogance and ignorance of being the world superpower, of being the country that would police everyone else. It would tell you, I can have war in this country, and this country. And even if they, violate human rights, even if they do something wrong, like Iraq, they spoke about weapons of mass destruction. They destroyed that country. They invaded the country for oil. Where were the weapons of mass destruction? Who held United States accountable? Nobody. Nobody could even touch United States. This would destroy United States. And I'm glad this is happening because United States is a fucking bully. They don't check what is happening in their own house. Like, they have racism that takes place there. They have this idiotic gun issue that every person has a gun to shoot each other. There's so many problems. Okay, you have Donald Trump with all these issues, but nobody's checking that. But they would look into your country and they would say, "Oh, why you're doing this?" They're talking of human rights abuse in other countries. What about the human rights abuse that is happening in the United States? So now Saudi, being the biggest oil exporter with sales of 356 billion last year, Saudi Aramco, which holds that crown, if it does get, if it says fuck off to the dollar, then, you'd see Iran, you'd see Russia, you'd see China all become more powerful than the United States. And personally, I don't see this happening. But if it does happen, it's going to impact everyone globally, okay, all the countries. The next piece of news is Saudis reform to have this Saudization, that is locals uh, kicking out expats, making locals take up jobs. It has failed miserably. This is a report by Bloomberg that states that since 2016, they've removed 1.5 million expatriates. The reports are roughly 1.5 million to 2 million expatriates. So they removed them because they wanted to give jobs to their locals. However, out of 1.5 million people who are removed, only 50,000 have got jobs. It's not that there are no jobs, there are a lot of jobs. But Saudi nationals don't want to work. They want free money from the government. They want to enjoy their life. They don't want to work. And the biggest part is if an expatriate works for $1,000 and he works 6 days a week, a local or anyone, any local from any of their countries, especially Saudi and UAE, they don't want to work 6 days a week. They want to work 5 days a week. They don't want to work 12 to 16 hours. They want to work 6 to 8 hours, out of which 5 hours is dedicated, or 5 hours or 2.5 hours or 3 hours is dedicated to prayer, because they'll say we have to pray to Allah. So they have to get the ablution, they have to get getting ready for prayer, which takes half an hour. And then they have, I need to go home on time. I will report to work on time, whatever time that is. And they don't have the fear of job loss, while expatriates have fear of job loss. So you can threaten an expatriate to work on a holiday, on off days, but you can never do that with a local, because they'll say, this is my country, fuck you, I'll get a job somewhere else. So it has failed miserably, and this is affecting the country really, really bad. You'll see this everywhere, but in the end, it's not the government who's going to suffer. These haughty, people, citizens who think no end of themselves, they will see cash dwindling, they'll see money going less and less, and they'll go to being, right down to the streets. And that's where, in desperation, they will finally break down. And you'll see this happen. Just trust me, you'll see this happen. Next one is news that is from UAE. Mashreq Bank closed down 50% of all its branches. And the second news, this was with Gulf News, which said that on March 13th, 2019, Mashreq will close 50% of its branches this year. The second news is April 2nd, that states that Mashreq, the largest privately owned bank in UAE, will close 12 branches by June. So 27 out of the 39 outlets will remain. So what do I look at it as is, if they do close down the branches, they will ensure that 50% of its workforce is also reduced. Now, what they are not stating in this report is they have experts who can predict how the market is moving. They know for a fact that revenue is declining. They know for a fact that now tough times are ahead. So bankers are going to lose their jobs. Banks are not going to make the money like they used to. And it's going to impact everyone. It's going to impact a lot of these expats, especially these bankers who are dressing up in suits, buying expensive cars, showing off, having this amazing arrogance. Oh, I'm a banker, ha ha ha, I'm earning big money, easy money. And they had properties back home and everything else. You're going to see bankers become like beggars on the streets, because now, even to get money from people are holding on to their investments. Nobody wants to invest so freely, because the glamour and glitz of the Middle East countries is no longer there. It was black money being invested into and converted into white money, because the banks would never ask you where the money is coming from. Is it drug dealing? Is it illegal money? No, nothing. Just you have the money. Oh, you have a business which is legally operating here. No problem. I don't care what you do elsewhere. Oh, you have your representative. You can have a friend, put your business in someone else's name. Let him invest. They are never going to question. So those days are numbered. Now there are many other options from many other countries, because everyone's playing the same game. Just as you have competition, let's say you open up a cell phone shop or mobile phone shop and you're doing very well, or you have a restaurant in a virgin territory area that you're selling chicken or barbecued items, like here in Thailand, and within a week you have copycats of that, because they're saying, fuck you, why you should make all the money, even I'll make all the money, even I'll make some of the money, I'll make better than you, I'll give better offers, discounts. So countries have realized how Dubai is making money, how the Middle East is making money. Oh, so you have no questions asked with black money? I'll also do the same. I'll close my eyes. Where you bring your black money, I don't care. Invest it, make it white. So this is what is happening. And that's why banks have started to terminate staff and close down branches, which the next report would prove my point. This is from Bloomberg once again. Abu Dhabi to merge banks. And this news is kind of controversial because Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, PJSC, is going to merge with First Abu Dhabi Bank. Okay, so Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank is going to merge with First Abu Dhabi Bank, which will make it the largest Middle East lender. You also have Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank, Union National Bank, Al Hilal Bank. There are also talks of them getting into merger. Now, the reason why I bring this is because if these banks merge, because they need to merge in order to survive, 50% of all bankers in the Middle East will lose their jobs. I can assure you this much. They will lose their jobs because when you merge, you have duplication of work. You have, two departments doing the same thing. Merge it, have one department, and automate the process. So, the underlining market voice or the rumors are that 50% will lose their jobs. And remember this, there's no smoke without fire. This is from people who are actually working in the banking industry and people who have lost jobs. You need to understand, so many people send me their resume. So many people book my services to help me get them jobs. I know what is happening. But the funny thing is, Arabian Business comes out with a counter report stating that, oh, no, this is all rubbish. However, one statement in Arabian Business stood out. A spokesman for FAB, First Arab Bank, said, whilst the bank does not comment on speculation, so they don't comment on the speculation, they're not commenting at all. So they're not denying, they're not agreeing. They deny reports issued by Bloomberg that there's a potential merger. So what the fuck are you trying to say? Are you denying? Are you accepting? Say one thing and be firm about it. So the very fact they have given this very diplomatic statement clearly shows that there is a merger in talks. And if it does happen, trust me when I say this, 50% of all the bankers in the Middle East, you expatriates, you're going to lose your job. So you better start hunting for jobs back home and not in the Middle East. Okay, Bloomberg, once again. This one is a gentleman. His name is Mark Mobius. He says that don't buy any property in Dubai before the real slump were to take place. It's going to get much more worse. So I searched who this Mark Mobius is, and what I found out is Mark Mobius is Joseph Bernhard Mark Mobius. He is a German national, age 82. He has his own Wikipedia page. So he is an emerging markets fund manager and a founder of Mobius Capital Partners. So a pretty well-known name in the investment scenario, in the investment industry. So he recalls in this article, he recalls how from Singapore, he saw in 2016 that while fireworks were shooting off the iconic Burj Khalifa, steps away, Address Hotel had caught fire. And the reason he brought this up is because he had two luxury apartments in the 63-story tower. Now, even though the tower has been restored and his investment is safe, however, now its value is hardly anything from what he had purchased. He says that the prices and rents have dropped 1/3. So whatever he invested, now the value is 1/3. And according to him, Dubai lives and dies by real estate. So when the property bubble burst, that was a decade ago, people have just lost money. And that is where Dubai needed $20 billion from Abu Dhabi to save itself. So what he's saying is Dubai is still not bottomed down. It's going to go further down. Don't buy it until you hear the market completely crashing. Now, this is not good because you have industry experts like these. You have guys with so much of money who have millions and billions who are openly stating that Dubai is gone to the dogs and Dubai is still going to sink even further. And this will destroy the economy. And how does it affect people like you? Your jobs will be affected. Your salaries will be affected. Do not think. See, the problem with people is they say, oh, oh, I know that the market is crashing. I know that people will lose jobs, but they're hoping, oh God, Lord Shiva, Lord Jesus, oh Allah, I'm lighting this candle to you. I'm helping the poor. I'm praying to you. Let this guy's job, his job will go, his job will go here. My job will not go because I believe in God. People always think that everyone else will lose their jobs except them. They know what is going on, but they still choose to ignore it. This is where it's going to fuck you up, because you can see the fire coming towards you. It's like this dangerous animal is coming towards you, but you close your eyes and hope, no, nothing is going to happen to me. Bad things are going to happen to everyone else except me. This is where you're going to get fucked. People have this tendency, they wait for the last moment, until the last moment, and then they take action. How I know this? People come to me, oh, Lord, help me, I lost my job. Oh, Lord, I don't have money. Please help me get a job, make my resume, Lord. Yeah, when your days are good, and when you have a buffer, you don't take fucking action. You wait for the last one, you procrastinate. Then when you get a fucking dildos, steel-studded dildo up your ass, then don't come to me and say that, don't come to anybody. Don't come and ask God or anyone else. You need to either be proactive as a businessman, or if you're an employee who's sticking on, hoping nothing is going to happen, you're going to get fucked. Ask yourself, do you feel deep down that the market is going bad? Do you feel deep down that there's a recession? Do you feel deep down that things are no longer the way it is? Do you have that feeling? Do you have that gut feeling of shit? Something is disturbing. That is why you wake up in the morning with a fear. If you have that feeling, better take action or you're going to get fucked. Next one, this is slightly international news, but it involves UAE. A UAE man, that is a man from United Arab Emirates, was caught with child porn in Canada. And as per Canadian law, he should be jailed for 3 years. This gentleman, his name is Hani Al-Askari, as per this report. Hani Al-Askari from UAE. It seems that he had 416 videos and 219 images of children. Okay. So he claims that it came from Abu Dhabi police, where he works in Abu Dhabi police. So his lawyer says, no, this is a very bad, this is a very harsh sentence. Even 1 year is very harsh. You need to really tone it down. Give him just a few days or weeks or whatever. A few days or weeks is what I'm assuming. So they think it's very harsh. Give him something. So, what I would say is name and shame that fucker. Put his photograph, show his details to the whole world. And then ask yourself, had it been someone else, some other nationality, would you still jail that person? Child porn, imagine children. A guy keeps a collection of children having sex. How sick can you be? I would say, if I was a judge, I would jail him for life. Life, because he gets fascination watching children. He's a sick mind. Name and shame him so that his career, his life gets destroyed. He is known as a pedophile. He doesn't deserve to exist on this planet. This is some of the stuff that the readers have sent to me. Let me just have a sip of coffee. Feeling a little sleepy here. Espresso. Okay. This message that was sent to me by a reader, this is really good. I've not edited a single thing. I'm going to share. He's a good friend of mine. He is based. We keep in touch. Very intelligent guy. Absolutely brilliant mind. And this is what he said. I really think you should hear this. This is UAE versus the dollar. So he said, Loy, you missed a critical point in your previous video. And I'll tell you honestly, I am not educated in all the areas. Remember, I'm a school dropout, so I'm not very smart. So when someone who is better than me, smarter than me, and more intelligent shares information, I think it's good for all of us to learn. So this is what he said. Loy, you missed a critical point in your previous video about UAE versus the dollar. So Dubai imports everything in dollars. After Russia and China's trade war with the US, these two big countries have decided to trade in their own currency. So this has affected the value of the dollar. The dollar is losing its value rapidly, and it's it will take down the currency of the world with it, because most of the currencies in the world are pegged to the dollar. So now every country, including Turkey and other countries, have started to recall their gold bullion from the Federal Reserve. This will start a global power struggle to replace the FDA. Now, China, Russia, Turkey are forming an alliance to fight the FDA. So it could form a kind of cryptocurrency or actual gold. One second. It's cold also. Okay. So now what happens next is, African countries have started to trade in gold. After Modi banned some note circulations in India, there's been surge in gold-based trading even in India. So instead of paper, now you can use gold. Let me give you an example of this. Imagine what would the cost of bananas be if you wanted to purchase banana in gold. Since the cost of gold is the same everywhere, the price of banana versus gold will be standard. So how many bananas you can buy with gold will be standard. However, if you were to buy bananas for currencies, it would fluctuate and this would cause problems. So just imagine if it is not just bananas, what about other products and services? So Dubai in the long run has to ditch the dollar in order to remain competitive with the global prices. And not just Dubai, it is all the other countries that want to survive. Because now, after Donald Trump has come into power, the dollar is no longer safe. Countries have started to get the courage to say, fuck off, you're putting a trade war on me, I'll put a trade war on you. You are playing unfair with me, I'll play unfair with you. You're trying to fuck around with me, I'll fuck around with you. And countries are uniting together against United States. So currently all your electronics and goods are now produced in China, which borders Pakistan, India and Southeast Asia. So why would India and Pakistan not start buying goods from cheaper options? Why would India and Pakistan start buying goods from Jebel Ali when China no longer accepts dollars? Only a few traders are selling in dollars. But if you check Alibaba, you have the option to buy in Chinese won. Dubai will no longer be a trading hub. Even Italy has joined hands with China on the One Road initiative. Italy plans to trade with China. The last company I worked for used to import from United States, and all the brands and products were from United States. The same brand now is manufactured in China, imagine, at 70% cheaper. So you're buying the same product and services for 70% cheaper. The regional distributor, which was operating with goods and services from United States, has shut down its operations in UAE due to the China trade war. Even the distributor of Xiaomi, has shut down, and Xiaomi is selling directly to anyone. I have friends who work for Caterpillar. They're also firing since Chinese construction equipment are more reliable, more cheaper, and much more better than Western brands. Those days are gone when you say made in China is duplicate. Today, made in China is really very strong. I know this because I have a couple of goods that I purchased from China. They're really good. I'll tell you that they are as good as American-made brands. So imagine if I was purchasing gaming laptops. Now, the one I'm talking about in UAE is 8,999 dirhams. That's 9,000 dirhams after discount. The same laptop I purchased, he didn't give me the brand name. So he said the same laptop I purchased, same specs from a trader in Hong Kong and Singapore, where this one is 9,000 dirhams, same specs, even better, is 6,000 dirhams plus shipping. So the question is, why should I pay something that is more expensive when I can buy for something cheaper and sell for a high price? Lloyd, do you know that I'm selling these goods in all the websites, that is souk.com, evoke.com and all that. I buy from China, I buy from Hong Kong, I buy from Singapore, made in China, and I'm selling the same product, which is as good as an American, at an American price. So this is from one of the persons who I personally know very closely. Imagine he's making a living doing this. The next one, I got this snapshot, which I'll share with you. It's an image. This guy writes to me saying, last Thursday, Lloyd, the CID was walking around in the Mall of Emirates and checking the ID and arresting people who had cases on them. They were going in the food court and even in Carrefour. So if you have any cases in UAE, avoid going to the Mall of the Emirates or other shopping malls. I think other shopping malls as cameras would have face recognition and CID will pick you up. Um, my answer to this, and he also says, this is verified as I know two people personally who were picked up by CID. Okay. See, my response to this is very simple. I would just say that being in UAE, if you are in the good, if you don't have anything illegal that you're doing, you have nothing to worry about. I stayed in UAE. I stayed in Sharjah with these tattoos. Sharjah, which is run by Saudi law. I kept a very low profile. Even if I'd go in shopping malls, which I avoided as much as possible, I would dress up full. I would cover myself so that, and I would not look suspicious, like, cover, not, with sunglasses or looking like, oh, look at this guy. I would just mind my own business, go eat in a joint, get out as quickly as possible. I avoided trying to grab as much attention, even though I love the attention. So I just say that if you are causing trouble, then trouble will find you. But if you keep low profile and you mind your own business, I don't think there's anyone there. But given what he said, one of the main reasons why I left UAE is because now things have changing. So maybe this is one of them. The next one is a reader writes about the Comoros passport. Now, I got quite a number of people who wrote to me about the Comoros passport. I will share with you the top two that were shared to me. One is Abdul Aziz Faiz Mohammed. He said, and he corrected me where I'm wrong. He said, Loy, you're mistaken. You're mistaken, Loy. The UAE and Kuwaiti citizens are not opting for Comoros passport just to avoid using their passports. The governments of these countries are buying or forcing the Comoros passport for non-citizens, like Badoons, stateless people living there for more than a decade, claiming to be citizens and have no other passport to make them residents instead of citizens. When a stateless claim that he is a citizen, he is living in the country for more than 50 years, and he has no passport, the government has no way to deport him or have an issue with him with regards to citizenship. To resolve such cases, governments opt to buy Comoros passport and issue these locals a beautiful resident card with Comoros as nationality. So these to-be citizens become just Comoros residents in GCC. Not to forget, deportable to Comoros whenever needed. So this was stated by Abdul Aziz Faiz Mohammed. I thank you a lot for that. And this gentleman, he doesn't want to be named, but what he has said is, hey, Loy, how have you been? Hope all is good. Well, I was just watching your recent video on the topic of Comoros passport. I have news that currently UAE locals who don't have a family book or just a plain UAE passport are being reviewed during passport renewal. Apparently, they are offered Comoros passport during renewal and not the UAE one. It's mostly for folks who were not Emirates traditionally or Emiratis traditionally, but inherited the passport via their father or mother who married an expat. Hence, the children of these cross marriages who are currently suffering by being forced to take up the Cameroonian passport or leave the country. This happened to a local friend, and as per her, it's happening to everyone who doesn't have a family book. Anyway, take care. Wishing you all the best. I'm still struggling to find a job here, but life goes on. Okay, so this is another gentleman. Then a reader writes to me about the hospital horrors, which I have spoken to you in the previous videos about how the hospitals in UAE, they are designed to make sure that you fall sick. You're kept in the hospital instead of 1 day, 10 days, or 20 days. They amputate your limbs because that is how you can make more money. So this person with the name Jen Net on YouTube, maybe this is not the real name, says, this is so true. I had my surgery in Dubai for a simple polyps removal, but I ended up 20 days in the hospital. You're right, they bombarded me with antibiotics, made my situation worse. Until I demanded and refused to take antibiotics, only my situation got better. Apparently, this hospital wants to take my money and keep me for long. They did 3 operations, cut me open for making a fucking mistake in my first operation. I even went to the DHA to complain, but none was heard from my side. After asking me to submit a long posting in their complaint site, apparently they just shelved it. I'm so glad and happy I left for good. Can't stand the country anymore for being so commercial and doesn't care for the welfare of each expat. So this is a warning to you. In fact, one of my friends who's a director of a company, he had an operation that was scheduled to take place in UAE. I strongly advised him not to get the operation done. That was in one of the top hospitals in UAE. He listened to me. He went to India. is getting the same operation done, but at a much more cheaper cost, and also that too from a doctor who's recommended by a friend. So next one is this one. I can't actually remember which video I put this up, but he says, "Hello, Loy. The story of Zach Shaheen is true. I met him in Dubai Central Jail in 2017. He's in Building 2D block even today." I don't remember who's Zach Shaheen. So if anyone can refresh my memory. IMG World of Adventure, which is owned by Ilyas and Mustafa Galadari, has for almost 5 months delayed salaries of employees. So if anyone from IMG of Worlds of Adventure can confirm this, because this is one person sending me through WhatsApp. Says his property investments are totally unsafe. Now unfinished projects are being handed over by a committee which is paying back 30 to 40% of the money which is put in by investors. So you put in 100%, you get back only 30 to 40%. There are many examples of this which prove that the escrow accounts were never escrow. The builders have access to accounts and funds. Hope I could be of help. Thank you for exposing the truth of Dubai and saving people from hell that I went through in UAE. So this is a friend, you could say. He's an informant who keeps sharing important information with me from the Middle East. Next one is Faisal Al Otaibi. He says, "Hello, Mr. Loy, about your challenge." I put a challenge, locals, UAE locals or locals of the country can only work in their country, not elsewhere. So it's about your challenge. I can tell you, you will not find any Emirati CEOs outside UAE. Basically, it's the same why the best Indian university professors and doctors won't leave India. It goes back to I am treated amazingly here and rewarded generously. Why would I go and live as an expat elsewhere? My answer to him is Indra Krishnamurti Nui, Satyanandala, Ajay Pal Singh Banga, Pichkai, Sundarraj, Rajiv Suri. All these are CEOs of multinational companies earning billions. No, companies generating billions. So here are a name of few Indians who are not in India but who occupy CEO positions of global companies. Could you give me a few Emirati local names to balance the argument? And I doubt that he will answer this. Next one is The Cube says, Loy, I would like to get your thoughts on artificial intelligence and robotics. My answer to this is, when you had the computer revolution, people in the 80s, they were afraid that a computer would take the place of 10 people. Now, it was true. When the computers were launched in the 80s, they did take place of 10 to 20 people. Let's say, for example, a computer could process the accounting, it could process the timestamps, finger stamps, it could do a couple of jobs. So jobs were replaced. But where the jobs got replaced, more jobs were created to operate these computers. So it's not like computers took over the world. When the internet came, people had the same fear that internet would take over the world. Now you have artificial intelligence that can make decisions, can take over certain jobs. So the question is, can they take over all the jobs? Let's look at it. Can you be a chef? Can a person be a chef? Yes, you can cook large meals. You can cook meals that are, you can cook meals, let's say 5 robotic hands. They just cook, they make, they fry, and they serve. Fine, you can have outlets like these. But you cannot pay a premium for this. Okay? And let's say a poor man selling on the streets, he cannot afford a robot. So this would be somewhere in as a gimmick. But you can never replace a chef. So that's one where human touch is required. Let's say cutting, chopping, grinding, cooks. Okay, mass scale in an industry, yes. Individually, no, you can't do that. Okay, let's look at office environment. Can automated software, please dial number 7 or dial number 2 for this, dial number 3 for this. Okay, this replaces having a real person. But then automated software, automated voice service centers, they've been there for so many years. Why have they not taken over the whole world? Why do you still have people who answer phone calls? Because there is a certain level of you know, intimacy. There is a certain dialogue that takes place that a robot cannot. Yes, they would get advanced at some point in the future, but at some point in the future, the dynamics of the environment will change. Now, robots. Where are the robots? Which jobs are they taken? Okay, in the automobile industry, yes. But how many of them? How many are there? So, my answer to this is certain jobs, there would be problems, but that doesn't mean AI, artificial intelligence, and robots will take over the entire world. You cannot have a mother's job replaced. You cannot have a father's job replaced. You cannot have businessmen replaced. You cannot have salespeople replaced. Maybe you can have a robot who's sitting in a bank and he'll process your ATM card and give you money. Fine, that I understand. But to automate the entire system, it would have to not only be a huge amount of money, it would have to be such an advanced system that the whole world is following. So I don't see this happening at least for the next 200 years. So for your generation, you don't have to worry. For the next generation, I doubt it's going to. Keep this in mind. Before the year 2000, in the 1980s, just watch the movies like Blade Runner, like all those futuristic movies that came in the 80s. They predicted in the year 2000, you'd have robots, you'd have flying cars, like even the cartoons, the Jetsons. They predicted that we would have flying cars, we would have, like Star Trek, just teleport you from here to there. You'd have robots sitting in the house having sex with you, or a virtual reality. Nothing has happened. In the year 2000, nothing happened. So 1980s, they predicted in 20 years. Just see Blade Runner. They predicted all this. Buildings would touch the sky and you'd have an entire country in a building. So it's good to be futuristic, but it's good to be realistic. So AI and robotics is the future, but in the next 200 years, nothing drastic will take place. I would say let's worry about it only after 1,000 years. So next one is how will it shift the market dynamics in producing new trends, employments and education? Yes, it would impact slightly. Like for example, I'm on YouTube. I make a living out of YouTube. This was not there before. I we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Twitter. Nowadays, most of the news travels on Twitter. You have Twitter wars. You have brands that can get made on Twitter, like the Kim Kardashian family. What is that? That female who says she's a self-made billionaire. Okay. You also have people who can get destroyed through Twitter, a wrong tweet or a wrong message. So yes, technology is changing our lives. But however, if you look at India, it still has the outdated educational system. Nothing has changed there. You still have Harvard University teaching the same old courses. You still have religion, which still follows a belief that is 3,000 years old. So human beings don't change. It's very hard for someone to change. So it's going to impact few things, but not everything. So please don't worry too much about the future. Like cryptocurrency. So much noise was made. Cryptocurrency, 20,000, going to go 1 million. One Bitcoin is going to be $1 million. Went up to $20,000 or whatever. Now, poof, vanished. So please don't worry about it. Okay, relax. Just relax. Too much of hype, too much of fear. Nothing is going to happen. End of the day, even this today's generation that keeps saying, oh, I'm a digital marketer, I'm an SEO expert, I deal with cryptocurrencies. Today's 13-year-old, 14-year-old boys, I'm into the digital space, I'm into co-working space, I'm location independent. What happened to them? You have to go back to working in a brick and mortar shop and you have to work for flipping burgers in McDonald's. So don't worry about it. And what to look out and what to be prepared for to succeed in case of automated future? Nothing. Just put your head down, do your work, earn money. Money is the name of the game. Figure out what job you can do to earn money. That's about it. Stop worrying too much about the future. Thanks. So I hope this answers your question. Next one is Vigha Satya Kareshna. Okay. who says, lived in Dubai for 7 years, finally left Dubai 3 days ago with my family back home. No regrets, family so happy. Well, I don't want to say that all the people are leaving UAE. There are some people who are still doing well. I have a couple of my friends who run a business and they're making money. So it's not gloom and doom in Dubai. However, like I told you, it's not that easy as before. Finally, Ektha, who says, you ate for 25 years from here, he's referring to Dubai, and now you're barking at UAE. In fact, he put another comment that is, how can you eat in the same plate and spit in it? Okay, my answer to Ektha is, you ate for 25 years. Now, this is you assuming that UAE has done me favors. Okay, what I want you to understand that, yes, I stayed in UAE. I stayed in UAE for 40 years, not 25 years, 40 years. I was in UAE, but I didn't stay for free. That's number one. UAE didn't do me any favors. I paid for my visa. I paid by working hard. I was smart enough to work through the loopholes to make money. Where I was making money, plenty of people like me were suffering and not making any money. Many people were thrown out of the country. So I was successful not because UAE was charitable to me. I was successful because I was smart. I was successful because I used loopholes. I was successful because I used my contacts and connections. I was successful because I was intelligent. Mind you, I was a school dropout. Okay, school dropout. And I teach, even today, I teach and I train people with PhDs. I teach and I train people from Harvard. Okay? Harvard Business School. Whether you fucking believe me or don't fucking believe me. I'm not saying I'm teaching the whole fucking school. There are, one or two or three students who are from there who ask me for personal branding. I became good at personal branding because of my own hard work. These books that you see, I spent fucking millions, my own fucking money. I worked 8 to 12 hours a day. I sacrificed sleep. I did so many things. I made so many mistakes. So this is not because of the UAE government. It's not because of some sheikh. It's not because of free food given to me. In fact, UAE didn't do me any favors where my visa was concerned. UAE didn't give me free education. UAE didn't give me free opportunities. I work my fucking ass off. Okay? And if you don't have a job, if you don't have a fucking visa, if you're not smart, you'll be, they will chew you and spit you out. So, Mr. Ektha, give this dialogue to some other motherfucker who gets free food, gets free favors. Nobody did me any free fucking favors. And with answer, you're barking at UAE. Motherfucker, let me tell you, you telling me I'm barking. You motherfucking dog. Okay? Let's say India. Someone's drinking cow piss, which is fucking stupid because he thinks a cow is a fucking god. Okay? What do you want me to do? Say, oh, I'm Indian passport, this is good. Let's all drink cow piss. Let's have bath with cow piss. Okay. Let's say in India, there are so many cases where children are getting raped. Small children, small girls and small boys. So what should I say? Oh, India, I have India, Jai Hind. India is a great country. Oh, this rape. Don't look at this rape. Let's look at the good points. It's like having a body with my leg broken and it's dangling. The bone is broken. It's dangling with the flesh hanging. So I ignore that sick part and I focus only on the healthy part. No. That sick part, forget it. Let's focus on the good things. No, you son of a bitch. I'm not one of those guys. So you can suck the hairy, salty balls of anybody, Arabs or whatever, put their dick up your ass and your nose and your ears and whatever, and you can be a dog for them and say that, oh, you're God. Me, however, I'm a person of self-respect. I have my integrity in place. Where respect is due, where credit is due, I give. There have been kind human beings who have helped me. There have been people who have done me favors, who have even given me money without taking it back. I've recognized them. I've even named them. In fact, my own mentor for 16 years is an Emirati Arab local Muslim. Okay? And I would say he's a billion times better than any Christian, than any human being I've met. He shaped me. He shaped me for who I am. If anyone says, whatever you are, you're at least, let's say, 80% because of him, I would agree with you. Okay? So where credit is due, I give it. But stating that, oh, the whole fucking country is did you favors. No, motherfucker, they never did me any favors. One proof, go and check the people who are working as laborers on the streets, on buildings, who are working 12 to 18 hours a day, 16 hours a day. Check with the people who are experiencing racism. Check the people who are in jail for just a check bounce. Check the people who have been unfairly, taken advantage. Check the girls who are being sold into prostitution in the Middle East. Check with them. They are in the Middle East. And let me know after you speak to them that should they be grateful for such a great country? You'll get in a place. I really wish and I hope you get fucked in the ass by losing your job, by losing your money. And then it will happen. It will happen if you're there. Then remember me and let me know, how does it feel having a steel-studded bamboo up your motherfucking ass? So this is my response to fucking ignorant bastards. Oh, by the way, last if not the least, this was sent to me by somebody. I know this person. That's why I don't want to reveal who the person is. But it seems that this person in UAE this is the designation given, is wordsmith. Okay. See, the problem with LinkedIn is, you can put any shit you want on LinkedIn and it becomes a designation. So this person is a wordsmith, smile strategist. Smile strategist. I've heard of personal branding strategists. People have copied that. They are also branding strategists, business strategists have copied it. But she or he is a smile strategist. I've even met clowns who call themselves a happiness coach or the motivational coach, not motivational, sorry, happiness coach or happy, it's like happiness and entrepreneur mixed to a happy entrepreneur or some shit like that. So this one is a smile strategist, an author, motivational speaker and life coach. Any Tom, Dick and Harry today becomes life coach, death coach, happiness coach, smile coach. Now you're smile strategist. So someone had sent me this and said, Lloyd, do you know this person? I just want to tell you that today on LinkedIn, you can put whatever the fuck you want. Don't have to believe me. Just go to LinkedIn, put whatever fucking designation you want. Becomes official. I don't take these clowns seriously. I don't take LinkedIn seriously. And I don't take this happiness coach or wellness coach or life coach or that fuck-all coach. When people say, oh, no, you're a motivational coach or motivational speaker, I say, don't fucking insult me, man. I'm just a guy who helps people in terms of personal branding, making fuckloads of money. That's about it. Don't put me in this guy. I've done NLP, life coaching, coactive coaching, all this fucking coaching. It's all fucking shit. Anybody, even a bathroom cleaner, even a sweeper, even a nobody can become a coach, just as you have SEO expert, digital marketer, online coach. You have these billionaires and millionaires who show Lamborghinis and expensive houses. I'll teach you how to make millions. All these fake gurus. You have these clowns who show all this. So that's what I want to say. Let me know if you have experienced, like this. There was this funny image that I want to share with you. A person who's unemployed in real life, unemployed, no job. But on LinkedIn, the same unemployed person will be TED Talk attendee, visionary, catalyst, then business strategist, SEO expert, so many designations. Very impressive. I'll see if I can get that image and share it with you so that you can have a good laugh. Let me know if you have bumped into idiots like this on social media who are billionaires, millionaires, visionaries in LinkedIn, but in real life are big zeros. It's like, Facebook or Instagram. You show such a perfect life, such a perfect photograph, so much of filter where your face looks amazing, but in real life, you look so fucking ugly. You're like, oh my God, what the fuck, And where they show perfect life with your perfect latte and perfect food and all that, in real life, they're nothing but big zeros. So anyway, these are my thoughts. Let me know what do you think. Love to hear from you. Like I always say, you have anything, my contact details are put below. That is my WhatsApp, my email address. Whatever you share with me, it's kept confidential. And please do support the channel. do like and share these videos, because the more you like, the more you share, the more it helps. This is me signing off for now. Take care.